Hello, for context reasons, I'm going to be filling you guys in. My name is MeToon, and our chat has created probably the greatest piece of media I've ever laid eyes on. It is very, very, very interesting as to how this all came to be, but essentially all the characters are people from our community, and all the artists were people from our community. I thought it was really interesting. Please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the video. Peace. Oh, one last thing. There is a ridiculous amount of inside jokes, so be warned, be prepared, and onto the video.
1, 2, 3. Mimi, can you hear me?
Yep.
It is I, Brian. When you told chat you would be taking a break and stream less often, I was out of work and chat got bored and restless. So much so that they started a project. As time went on, the project grew larger and larger, so they eventually requested my help. What you are about to witness has been brewing in the shadows for the last 2 months. Enjoy what's coming, and happy birthday. PS. For the next slides after you press this button, don't start yapping over my voice like you tend to do during stream.
Okay.
Once upon a time, in the land of lost 50s, there lived a prince named Mimi. He was the prince of the kingdom of Toes and beloved by all. Prince Mimi was in love with Chatarina, who was blessed with good luck by the gacha gods. All who knew the couple were blessed with luck, so all the townsfolk wished to see them wed. But the princess of the neighboring Fridge kingdom, Princess Frigina, was in love with Prince Mimi. She was jealous of their love and luck, and so she plotted to cast a spell on King Greg, Prince Mimi's father, that would make it so she was the one to marry Prince Mimi and claim their luck.
What? The bra? The bra little toe prince? Brave, I'm so dumb. Bro, does that not look like a W? Does that not look like a W though? Like for real. Okay, Brave. The brave little toe prince. Here we go. Oh, it's gonna be loud as hell, man. I'm not ready for this. Alright, I was gonna brace myself.
On the day of the prince's birthday, a grand celebration was to be held, as it was also the same day that the prince's engagement was to be announced. Everyone gathered for the announcement, surely thinking that it was going to be Chatarina that was to be betrothed to Mimi. When the king summoned Mimi to the throne room, he told his son, Prince Mimi, you will not be marrying Chatarina but Princess Frigina of the Fridge Kingdom, so that we can unite our lands. Prince Mimi shouted in anger, I will not marry her. My heart belongs only to Chatarina. The king, under Frigina's spell, told the young prince, if you will not marry Frigina, then you leave me with no choice. Guards, lock the prince away in the throne room. I will deal with him later and make him come to his senses. In the meantime, find this Chatarina, and lock her away in our deepest dungeon. Prince Mimi struggled desperately as he was dragged away by the guards. But it was futile, and he ended up locked away in the throne room in a glorified timeout. As the hours passed, his dread grew. What would become of his beloved Chatarina? As he wallowed in his sadness, he suddenly spotted a majestic blue feathered owl flying towards the throne room window. The owl perched on the window ledge, and Mimi noticed a note tied to her leg. He took the note from the owl and read it aloud. To my dearest Mimi, I hope this note finds you safe and sound. The king has locked me away in the dungeon you told me about, the special basement. He did not seem like himself when he gave his guards the order. It was almost as if he was under a spell. I did catch a brief glimpse of Princess Frigina nearby, and it looked like she was muttering to herself or possibly controlling your father. You must find a way to free me. I know that our love is pure and true. It will be your guiding light on this difficult journey. Just know that by going on this journey, you will prove to everyone that we do belong together and that our love is strong enough to break the hold that Princess Phrygia has over your father. Start your journey by going and finding my dear friend Thelma. She will give you more information and aid you on your journey. With love, Chatarina.
It's like Alice in Wonderland. My thumb is gonna give me a potion that makes me really small or really big. Is that a fucking toenail? Brother.
Left alone in the throne room, Prince Mimi begins pacing. The special basement had been passed down for generations of the royal family, and required 5 toe keys to be unlocked, each one designated its own fearsome guardian, a mod. The journey would be arduous, and he didn't know if he could do it alone, but he had to try. For Chatarina. With the words of encouragement from his beloved, Prince Mimi waited until the dead of the night, and snuck out of the castle. As he cast his back on the palace, he began on an epic journey to find the 5 toe keys and save both his love and his father. In the distance, Mimi can hear the cry of an owl, almost as if it is cheering him on.
Yo! This is exactly what I was thinking! Whoops.
As day breaks, Mimi comes to a vast field of strawberries. Knowing that Chatarina's friend, Thelma, owned the field, his heart was beginning to fill with hope. Thelma, who was out trying to scare the rabbits from her fields, notices Mimi from a distance. As
Guys,
he
you're delayed,
approaches,
you're delayed.
Thelma greets him. Noticing the distress on his face, Thelma asks if anything had happened. Mimi tells her of all that occurred the day before and of Chatarina's imprisonment in the special basement. Thelma nods knowingly, then says, I know of the special basement as I am one of the keepers of the toe keys. If you can solve my rabbit problem, then I can provide you with the key and aid you on your journey to rescue Chatarina. Mimi, without hesitation replies, of course I'll help you. If it means getting one step closer to saving my beloved Chatarina, then I am willing to do whatever it takes. Thelma smiles at Mimi and explains to him that he is to not harm either the rabbits or the strawberries. He will need to come up with their way to carefully capture them and that patience may be the key. Thelma suggests that Mimi should rest for the day and begin this task in the morning. Mimi, both mentally and physically tired, agrees.
That one car Japanese farmers use. It's like a really small pickup truck. I don't remember what it's called.
The next day dawns bright and clear. Mimi, ready to take on this challenge, is looking at an array of traps and nets. Thinking of the conditions laid out to him by Thelma, he picks up a net, thinking that this will be the easiest and fastest way to catch the rabbits. As Mimi enters the strawberry field, grasping his net tight, he tries to map out a route to catch the rabbits. He takes a deep breath, and then starts running as fast as his legs will let him. The sudden movement causes all the rabbits to scatter and run away. Mimi does his best to keep up with them, jumping over bushes left and right. However, the bunnies are too fast for him.
Yeah, too fast for me. Motherfucker right there in the middle, he's out cold. That's already one on the board, by the way. But, you know, who's keeping track?
After 4 hours of running around chasing rabbits and catching none, Mimi falls to the ground exhausted.
I don't even get the guy that...
Thelma, having watched all of this, is concerned for his well-being and asks if he is alright. Unable to speak, Mimi gives a thumbs up to signal he is still alive. After Mimi has regained his breath, Thelma suggests he should be a little more patient with the bunnies and kindly gives Mimi a hint on how to capture the rabbits. This approach can wait until tomorrow, as for now Mimi still is too exhausted to even lift a finger. The following day, Mimi
What
took Thelma's
in the
advice to
flying fuck
heart
is
and
going on?
tries out a calmer approach. After dressing up as a giant carrot in the middle of the open strawberry field, the rabbits one by one all gravitate towards Mimi. Once all the rabbits have gathered around him, Mimi leads them away towards a screened-in rabbit pen. Thelma quickly closes the gate and Mimi hops out, successfully trapping all the rabbits inside. A very grateful Thelma thanks Mimi for a job well done and presents him with the key. Thelma then proceeds to tell Mimi about the next key holder, Sharky. After another day of rest, the two begin the journey to seek out Sharky.
How the fuck are we gonna bring Sharky along with the journey? I must know.
After traveling for a few hours, Mimi and Thelma arrive at a pier on the beach. Thelma walks to the end of the pier and yells out for Sharky. Mimi sees a shark's fin appear in the distance and getting closer at a fast pace. Thinking that they are about to be eaten, Mimi drops to the pier cowering in fear. Thelma begins laughing and says, "You didn't have to do that. Sharky was just answering my call." Mimi, embarrassed, gives a tiny, "Oh." Sharky, giggling, looks to Thelma and asks, "What did you need me for?" Thelma replies, "This is Prince Mimi and he needs your help." Mimi takes that as his cue to explain to Sharky what is going on. After listening to what Mimi has to say, she says, "I understand, but I have my own situation to deal with at the moment, but if you help me with it, then I might just be willing to help you with yours." Mimi thinks for a moment and then says, "Okay, explain to me what is going on and I will gladly help you." Sharky tells them about her sword, the dragon's asshole, and how it has been stuck in the stone for a long time now. No matter what Sharky has tried, it just won't come out. She tells Mimi that if he can get her sword out of the stone, she would be more willing to join them on their journey to rescue Chatarina.
Look at this guy. Yeah.
As Sharky dives back into the water to guide them, Mimi asks, "How are we supposed to breathe while we are down there?" Sharky thinks for a moment and then says, "Jump in the water and I will grant you a bubble that will allow you to talk and breathe." Trusting in Sharky's words, Thelma and Mimi both jump into the water and bubbles appear around their heads. Leading the way, Sharky guides them to where the sword is stuck in the stone.
Oh, that's fire! What the hell?
Mimi swims around the stone, looking it over from all angles, trying to think of the best way to get it out. Not seeing any obvious solutions, Mimi decides to just go for it and yank with all his might. After many failed attempts at yanking the sword from various angles, Mimi plops down on the edge of a stone and pouts. He knows he has the strength to do this if it were only on dry land, but here in the water it is almost impossible. He thinks to himself. Thelma, worried that he might give up, reminds him that he is doing all this for his beloved Chatarina. Remembering something from Chatarina's note about the strength of their love gives Mimi an idea. He swims back up to the sword and closes his eyes. Picturing Chatarina in his mind's eye, he gives the sword a mighty pull and frees the sword from the stone. Sharky, overjoyed at having the dragon's asshole finally free, swims over to Mimi and takes the sword from him. As Sharky goes to swim off, Mimi yells, "Hey, I thought you were going to help me if I freed your sword." Sharky stops swimming and slowly turns back, mumbling begrudgingly, "Fine, I'll help, but only because I want to go on an adventure. Oh, and here is my token as thanks for getting me my sword back." As an added bonus, I'll tell you where to find the next key. We will need to go find ice cream in the heart of an ice labyrinth. Hope you like puzzles, says Sharky with a giggle.
I'm not looking forward to puzzles. Oh no. I can't even read.
Leaving behind the waters that Sharky calls home, the trio trades the warm embrace of the sun and the salty smell of the sea for a crisp winter's breeze and the muffled sound of their footsteps in a thick layer of snow. After several days of travel, the group arrives at a big wall of ice. There seems to be a notice by its entrance. As Mimi tries to read it aloud, he struggles at the first letter. Another long-time nemesis of his rears up its ugly head. Cursive writing. Luckily, Mimi is not alone on this journey. Sharky and Thelma clear their throats and read aloud. At the heart, unthaw that which is frozen, and thou shalt find what thou seekest. Mimi, amazed by their ability to read this gibberish, questions what it could mean. To which Sharky replies, we just need to find ice cream at the center of the labyrinth. It seems like she got stuck again. Full of courage, our brave group walks through the dark entrance. Once inside, the doorways quickly follow up on each other. After a couple of hours of leading the way through the maze, Mimi keeps finding dead ends. The time spent between icy walls is taking their toll on Thelma and Mimi. Whilst Sharky is still enthusiastically swinging her dragon's arsehole around, Thelma has reached a nearly frozen state. Suddenly, they start to hear growling sounds echoing on the crystal clear walls. It is Mimi's stomach. Despite Chatterina reminding Mimi to eat, he went on an adventure without food anyway. It wasn't a well thought out plan. Now hungry and frustrated, Mimi starts whining. This maze is impossible to solve. I can't think straight because I am so hungry. Suddenly a sweet fragrance reaches Mimi's nose. Finally something to eat. It seems his hunger has heightened his sense of smell. The trio starts to follow Mimi's nose, down a big hallway.
Oh my god.
Finally, they found the center, a big spacious room filled with the sweet aroma of ice cream, waffles and other sweets. The sparkling walls and colorful pillars are too much for Sharky to resist. Almost instinctively she starts licking the candy cane pillar, forgetting everything in this place is frozen. Her tongue gets stuck to the pillar. In her panic she drops her dragon's arsehole. Hearing Sharky's distress, Thelma forgets about her cold and starts tugging on Sharky with all her might. Meanwhile Mimi is mesmerized with the centerpiece of the room, an ice cream cone with a cherry on top. Letting his empty tummy be his guide, he finally found something to sate his hunger. Mimi eagerly starts licking the ice cream, unbeknownst to its true nature. As he goes to take a bite of the ice cream, a small person pops out of the cone. Mimi screams in fright and the small person says, I should be the one screaming since you tried to take a bite out of me. She glares at Mimi and asks what they are here for. At this point Thelma and Sharky have found their way over after hearing Mimi's scream. Thelma, still seeking warmth, hugs Mimi and introduces everyone. The small girl replies, my name is Ice Cream and I am the mod of the frozen maze. In spite of the way Ice Cream got freed from her cone, the group did indeed complete the challenge inscribed at the entrance, so Ice Cream reluctantly hands over the tow key. To make sure you guys don't cause any more trouble, I will join you on your journey.
Dude, this is so good. This is so good. Oh shit, we got an art change.
The group of four arrives at the Golden Plains where Kashi resides. Underneath the scorching sun, Thelma is as happy as ever again to feel some warmth. Sharky, however, has started to melt.
This is lore accurate.
Sharky's suffering, Ice
Ice Cream
Cream
sits
proposed
on her
to
head.
sit on her head to keep her cool.
This is
Such
lore
are the magical
accurate.
perks of the mod of the frozen maze. To Ice Cream's eyes, nothing goes unnoticed, as she points out that Mimi is now wearing a cowboy hat and says, "When did he get a cowboy hat?" Mimi shrugs and says, "It was in my pocket. Never know when you will need a hat."
This is so good. This is amazing. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. This is too good. What? No, I can't. I can't. What are they doing?
After searching the property, the gang eventually
Why am
finds
I looking
Kashi
like that? I'm
sitting
a
up
serial
against
killer.
a big hay bale. Kashi is playing on her portable console, Valo. Curious as to what she is playing, Sharky and Ice Cream go over to look at what she's doing. Not wanting to waste time, Mimi tries to get Kashi's attention away from the game. After waiting for the round to be finished, Kashi finally looks up at them all and says, "Whoa, how long have you all been here?" Mimi tells her that they have been trying to talk to her for a while now. Kashi responds, "Oh, well, sorry about that. I just really lose track of everything when I play Valo. Is there something that I can help you with then?" Mimi explains to Kashi about what happened to Chatterina.
The drawings are so good, man. They're amazing. Mine's almost spacing out, doing whatever over there. Like, this is perfect. Stop. Stop. No.
Kashi tells Mimi he can have the key if he plays and wins a round of Valo.
Why is this lore
request
accurate?
seems to trigger a PTSD episode for Mimi. Upon seeing his reaction, she says she was only teasing, and he has to forge her a new horseshoe instead, pointing out she is only wearing one horseshoe. Mimi says with a sigh of relief, "As long as I don't have to play Valo, I will do my best to help you." Cassie leads the group over to her blacksmithing station where she hands Mimi an apron and says, "Here ya go and good luck."
Okay.
Mimi puts on the apron and begins the process of forging the horseshoe. Sweat is dripping from Mimi's face as he is hammering the horseshoe on the anvil. Ice Cream, wanting to help out, is holding the blueprint on how to make it. In the
Let's
background,
go.
Sharky and Kashi are playing another round of Valo, while Thelma is joyfully watching them. After a few hours, Mimi has completed Kashi's horseshoe. Kashi goes over to Mimi and takes a look at his work and says, "Not bad. Have you ever thought of becoming a blacksmith?" Mimi, too exhausted to talk, just shakes his head no. Kashi says, "Well, anyway, as thanks for the new shoe, here is my Toki, and since my new gaming buddy Sharky is with you all, I am joining in too." Mimi thanks Kashi and says, "I know where the last Toki is. It is with a baker named Bai."
I knew it. Art style change. What is that? Oh, I gotta press play.
Mimi, knowing where to go for the last key, is leading the group so everyone is behind him. As they are walking, Mimi says, "The last key holder we have to find is Bai. She is the owner of a bakery. Oh, Sharky, you and her will get along. She makes bread and cake in the form of a shark." Not getting a response, Mimi turns back to look at everyone and sees the look of shock on everyone's faces.
You can tell. She got the what do you call this? The negative bread symbol? Anti-bread symbol? Anti-badge? Oh, what the fuck? She's an animal.
Bai,
She's a
having
beast.
a great sense of smell, seems to have sniffed out Sharky and is trying to chew on her arm. After the shock wears off, everyone jumps into action to try to get Bai off of her. After separating the two, Mimi says, "Well, I guess we found Bai." Ice Cream cheerfully says, "That was easier than we thought it would be." The others all give a thumbs up in agreement. Once Bai has calmed down, Mimi tells her about his situation. Bai thinks for a moment and then snaps her fingers. Aha! She exclaims, if you can help me come up with a way to get my food to taste like shark, then I will gladly help you and
Okay.
Chatarina out.
Alright. Dude, the art is so good! I like this. Hit that plate.
The group heads over to Bai's bakery to try to solve the cooking problem. Upon entering, Sharky notices all the different jars with shark part labels on them and decides to stay hidden behind the door and just peek in on everyone from the window. The rest of the group follow Bai in. As Mimi looks around at all the equipment and tools, he looks to Bai and says shyly, I have a confession to make. I don't know how to cook. Chatarina usually does all the cooking because she is amazing at it and everything she makes is so delicious. Thelma, Ice Cream and Kashi all turn wide-eyed to look at Mimi. Thelma says, don't worry Mimi, we will teach you how to cook. Ice Cream suggests starting with something easy like shark-flavored muffins. Bai agrees with a nod and says, well then, shall we begin? Bai, Kashi, and Thelma start explaining the baking steps and process to Mimi. Ice Cream floats around gathering all the ingredients that Mimi will need to use. Under Bai's guidance, Mimi begins making the muffins. When it comes time to add the shark flavoring, Mimi asks Sharky for some of her scales. Bai grounds the scales up into a powder and adds it to the muffin mix. As the muffins bake, the group entertains themselves with all of Bai's kitties. As it gets closer for the timer to go off, Bai starts to get really excited by the smell of the muffins. The timer goes off and Mimi takes the muffins out of the oven and sets them on a cooling rack. Everyone gathers around, enticed by the aroma of the freshly baked muffins. Mimi takes one of the cooled off muffins and holds it out to Bai to try, hopeful that they came out tasting like shark. Bai, closing her eyes, takes a bite out of the muffin. Everyone holds their breath, awaiting her reaction. Bai's eyes pop open and she exclaims, this is the best shark muffin I have ever tasted. You all have to try them. At Bai's urging, everyone takes a muffin and begins eating. One by one, they all say how delicious they are. Bai, having had her request fulfilled, presents Mimi with the last toki and cheerfully says, let's go save Chatarina, so Mimi can have his happily ever after. Everyone cheers in agreement and begins on the journey back to the castle.
I see. Archie! Oh my god! I forgot! Oh my god! Holy! Guys, I wanted to like upload this to YouTube and like, you know, like tag it as like 4 children or whatever it is, you know? And like start a little journey here, but like, nah, there's no way, guys. We can't. This is not it right now. Holy. I gotta tag it as 18 plus for sure. That is spooky. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, as it's drawn, like a little bit more fleshed out, like, wow, it is nicely drawn. It is such a high level of art compared to what I did. Because what I did was not even close to that. That is actually like, oh shit. That's actually pretty good. I haven't pressed play.
Mimi leads the group of mods back to the castle, through a secret passageway that only his family knows about. He tells the mods, this passageway is the royal family's secret escape route in case of emergencies and also leads to the special basement. They appear to come to a dead end, but Mimi presses on a discolored stone and a door swings open leading to a dark staircase. Everyone be careful, Mimi says as he leads the way. When they reach the bottom of the stairs they find a cell. The lock on the cells glows in the shape of a foot with just the toes missing. Sitting inside the cell is Chatarina. Mimi rushes up to the bars and calls her name, Chatarina. I am here to get you out. Chatarina jumps up from the bed and rushes over to Mimi. Oh Mimi, she says, I just knew that you would succeed and save me. I had all the faith in you that you would overcome all the tests and trials to get the keys and that you believed in our love just as much as I do. Mimi responds, let me get this door unlocked so that I may hold you once again, my love. He slides the toe keys in one by one, and as the last one slides into place, the lock clicks open and Chatarina runs out and into Mimi's open arms.
It's a happy ending, right?
Now with the cell open, the group wanders inside it to check it out, since none of them have ever been inside a cell before. Mimi suddenly decides that in order to protect Chatarina from ever having to go through such a horrible situation again, he will keep all the mods here in the basement.
Wait,
Acting
ice cream
quickly,
could literally just
Mimi
fly out.
slams the cell door shut, locking all the mods in. Ice Cream, the first to react, yells, wait, we helped you free Chatarina and save the kingdom. Why are you locking us up in the basement? Thelma reacts next, shouting, exactly. That's really mean of you. Mimi calmly responds to them, I can't afford to go looking for all of you if something ever happens to Chatarina again. So from this day on forward, I will keep you here so you can keep Chatarina safe. That will be your new job. Yep, Cassie asks, you are making us babysitters? Mimi responds, not babysitters, just. You know what, yes, you are Chatarina's babysitters now. Mimi starts turning around to leave the basement when Sharky calls out, hey yo, at least leave us some food down here. By looking at Sharky goes, we have plenty of food down here. Everyone springs into action trying to keep Bai away from Sharky.
Don't kill me. I'm a villain for real.
Suddenly, the door leading into the basement is kicked open and a person in an owl cape, holding a shovel, stands in the doorway. The locked-up mods all gasp in surprise, as Mimi slowly turns around with a shocked look on his face.
Of course.
He asks, who are you? The owl responds, my name is Athena and I'm the newest mod in town. Athena swings the shovel and bonks Mimi on the head. The end? Or is it?
Here we go. Wait, you said the end? The end! You know, Sharky is, Sharky has, like, the most wild, like, character design. They changed so much. I think I've seen Sharky as a guy, like, twice. Just straight up, just like a random guy. I like the Baker design, for sure. Kashi's design is scary a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like just the hooves. They are large and in charge, I ain't gonna lie. This is nice though. So like did everyone draw their own like panels, or oh wait, there's more.
Happy birthday, Mimi. Thank you for being the amazing streamer that you are. Without you giving us this space to hang out and get to know each other, this story would never have been possible to make. Here is to many more birthdays and precious times spent together.
So wholesome. Wait, there's more credits as well? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, let me see. Zaria directed this? What the fuck? And we had 6 artists. That's a lot of writers. I think we had an actors one. I like that. Brian is Brian. Wait, what did Tudinsky and Emo Girl do? Oh, it's awesome. Oh, it just plays the loop? mean almost done? There's more? What do you mean almost done? How is there more? No, I think it is done. Beautiful. That was good. That was it, right? Oh my god. That was fire. That was so good. Oh my god. That was so memorable. Oh my god. I don't know how you guys do it. Every year, it's always something with you guys. And that was just wild. Oh my god.